Hello and welcome to TMXing Adventures. Lisa here. I hope your Friday has been fantastic. Hey look, have you jumped over to my website yet and grabbed your copy of your quick dinner download? If you've not yet, go over to that QR code over there. It'll take you to TMXing Adventures and you can go to the blog and grab this download. Now tonight I'm showing you how to make this awesome Hoisin Pork Bowl. Now, it is a TM31, TM5 recipe that doesn't use high heat. So tonight I'm going to teach you how to actually hack the high heat recipe of the San Chow Bao to actually use this. So if you've got a TM6, this is so that you don't have to do it on your stovetop. Because if you're anything like me, cooking on your stovetop usually equals something being burnt. So I want to use the Thermomix so that I don't burn my mince, all right? So I'm going to show you today the mince portion of this recipe. The other part, I reckon if you've been watching along for a while and you're a seasoned Thermomix owner, you probably know the other part. The other part involves cooking rice in the simmering basket, broccoli in your Vorwerk, and then it just actually gets served with some fresh cucumber and things like that. So it's actually a super easy recipe when it comes to assembling and that second part. But I guess today I'd like to give you some upskilling around how you can hack other recipes to make it so that it's easier. For those of you particularly with a TM6. If you've got the TM5 or 31, you are stuck at this stage of still using your stovetop because yours doesn't quite go as high heat as the 6 does. So let me show you this recipe. We're going to go up to our little planner. We're going to go to my week. I've put them in the planner. You'll see both recipes are going to be there. We're going to see both the San Chow Bao, which is the high heat recipe, and we're going to also see the Hoisin Pork Bowl. So if I was going to go jump in and do the rice and the broccoli, I'd just go straight to there. I'm going to go over to San Chow Bao and I'm just going to wing this recipe. Now do say hi if you're watching on today. If you've got plans for dinner, let me know. A little quick reminder, TM31 upgrade. People that is ending tonight, so getting quick if you want to upgrade your TM31, let me know. I'd love to support you. I'll send you a link so you can. And otherwise, the other news from Thermomix today is they've announced starting tomorrow a host reward of a bowl blade and lid for $99 if you host and a friend is ready to buy. So that's a pretty cool little icing on the cake, so to speak. So let's go in with the San Chow Bao. So I'm going to start halfway through. I don't want to do all the other bits and pieces of this recipe. I've just looked around. I forgot to get the pork from the kitchen. I'll have to ask a child to in a moment. But let's scroll down. And we'll go to the part where it's asking for, here we go, the oil and then the high heat. So did you notice on the TM6, you don't have to start at the very top. You can actually scroll through your steps and start where you need to start. So I'm going to click on that. All right, you can see there, first things first, it's asking for sesame oil. Now I've already looked over and I've done a bit of a comparison on this recipe. And I know that my other recipe calls for some hoisin sauce and some, I can't pronounce it, but it's like a sweet chili sauce with a really long word. So we don't typically do hot stuff here, so I'm swapping that for literally sweet chili sauce tonight. So I'm going to put into this, or I should say this afternoon. I'm really having a hard time this afternoon. I don't have the oil and I don't have the mince and I can't hear a child in the house to help me find them. So it might be the first time in over a year that I've actually turned up online without the ingredients I need. So I'm going to have to actually duck to the kitchen and grab them. So give me 5 seconds to go grab the 2 ingredients that I'm missing, which are really vital for this recipe. While I'm doing so, let me know in the chat what you're having for dinner. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I knew I had them both out, I just didn't bring them. So 10 grams of oil. Now it says sesame oil. The other recipe doesn't use sesame oil, so I'm quite confident to use olive oil. It just uses olive. You do need an oil in the bottom there somewhere because that is what is going to keep everything moving and soft in there. Peanut oil, I'm going to skip that out. It's not in the other recipe. And now some pork, and it says 250 grams. Now a tip with your high heat cooking is do make sure you keep to the weights. If you put 500 grams in there, you are not going to get that seared off caramelized flavors that you will get if you're putting the right amount in. There's too much volume, not enough surface area, you just end up with mush. So half of my packet, okay? I'm trying really hard not to touch it. In this goes. I am going to spread it around the blades Put it down there. Now, in the original recipe, it does call for, as I said, the sweet chili sauce, or I think it's called symbolic. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. So I'm just going to put some sweet chili in, and I'm going to put some hoisin sauce. Now, hoisin is a peanut butter style sauce. If you've never made it before, I'd say give it a go. It's just beautiful. Now, you can see I'm literally winging my amounts. The hoisin sauce doesn't even want to come out of the bottle. Maybe I shouldn't have come and cooked for you this afternoon. Nothing wants to cooperate. All right. Do I even have a spoon in here? We're going to leave that out for this second. I will do it off camera because, as you can see, it's not playing friendly. If I had a long, or even just a handle of a spoon, I would just put it in there and help pull that out, okay? By the way, if you make it yourself, you won't have this trouble where it's stuck in the bottle, okay? If you're looking for a hoisin sauce recipe to make, the one with the bayo buns, I think it's called leftover roast bayo buns on Cookie Do. Phenomenal recipe, okay? It's really such a beautiful recipe, so I would highly suggest that. I will do that off camera. I was going to add 50 grams, okay? That's how much I was going to add into it. Now it asks for our lid, and it asks for our splash guard. So we are going to do these in 2 batches, 250 grams at a go. You could, if you were knowing that you were going to be busy this afternoon, you couldn't get back to the Thermomix, you could put 500 grams in, it's just not going to caramelize as nicely. Okay, so if you want that real fry pan feel, stick to the weights. All right, done. Now, splash guard, that's for our high heat cooking. On that goes, done. And then all I'm going to do is spin this dial, and it is going to cook for 7 minutes and make this beautiful. Now, at that 7-minute mark, what happens? We transfer the mix aside, and I'm putting it in my Thermo server. If you don't have a Thermo server, do a demo, get yourself a Thermo server discounted, okay? Keeps things hot or cold. It is a thermos. It's got an air pocket between the 2 layers, and it keeps things hot or cold for a couple of hours, particularly if you preheat it. So if you want this to last the full 2 hours, put a little bit of boiling water in the bottom first, put the lid on, then you'll hear it pop. That's the sound of it being really hot. Tip the water out, put your food in, put the lid on, and it'll be really piping hot. Stainless steel is by nature cold, so if you do go and put, say, your boiling food into it, it's going to drop down to like 80 degrees. You're already losing degrees because it has to heat this up first, which is what the boiling water does in the first place. So boiling water, just a little bit, only a centimetre, tip it out, and then put your food in, put the lid on. Okay, so I'm going to spin the dial. For those of you who are not familiar with your high heat function on your TM6, you will hear the blades stop, and it's not a problem. They're supposed to. The idea being it's now mimicking a fry pan. So you'll hear them stop, your Thermomix will sizzle, and then every now and then you will hear it wiggle and jiggle those blades to keep that food moving around. The other thing at the end of 7 minutes is use your spatula, scrape the bottom up, scrape it around, because you want to actually move any caramelization that's on the bottom of the bowl up onto your food before you remove your food out. Okay, so there's my tips today for high heat cooking in your Thermomix. It is phenomenal. If you have a TM6 and you've not done this yet, maybe it's because you don't eat pork, do it with chicken. It's amazing, okay? Beef, any meat, try this high heat cooking. It is next level. And if you are a vegetarian, can I highly suggest using veggies instead? You just have to meet the weight requirement. So in this case, 250 grams and your 10 grams of oil, okay? If you do that, it is happy, it will cook for you, and it will cook off your beautiful strips of capsicum, broccoli, whatever, snow peas, all those beautiful things. You can put some garlic in there as well. So high heat is amazing. If you've got a TM6 and you're not using it, let me know. I would love to support you. Let's cook together and get you using your high heat. But otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to spin this up, let this cook. I'm here to help you get the most out of your Thermomix. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out if you've got questions along the way. Remember to check out my website. You'll find a whole lot of free resources. If you subscribe over there, you get them to your inbox as well. You'll find I've got a cheese course over there, a beginning with your Thermomix course, and more recently, an Easter grazing box course for you as well. So filling it a grazing box with amazing food really quickly and easily. Those of you who've watched along for a long time, you know my attention span is pretty small when it comes to time in the kitchen. So, you know, these recipes that you'll find in the ebooks are simple recipes. I have shortcutted recipes, but without it compromising on quality. Okay, so check those out, head over there. But otherwise, I'll spin this dial. Have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend if I don't get to see you before Monday. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.